It wouldn't be a spooky October if we were not getting full faded. That's what we experienced last night, but we're back again today. Three NBA winners on the way for this Wednesday slate. Let's get into it. This is the Free Three. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we're just trying to get to the bag together and get to that money. You guys heard me earlier. What happened yesterday? Full ass handing out day. I mean, just talk about getting my gut punched in. 0-3 on the day yesterday. We lost on Walker Kessler's rebounds. We got 8 in the third quarter. Couldn't get any more in the fourth. Julius Randle's points and rebounds. We needed 28. He finished with 27. And then Jordan Hawkins' points, the guy couldn't hit the son of a barn, and he went like 0 of 6 or something like that. So tough to see it, 0 of 3. Sometimes I hate betting on role players, and this is for the exact reason why. So for today, we're going to stick to some of the main guys on their team, number one options, if you will. So we're going to run it back today. No need to hit the panic button just yet, but we are back at 500 for the month of October, so we're going to be down a little bit on the juice, but we do have a little bit of time to come back as we have about 2 more days left. So hopefully with today's slate and tomorrow's slate, we can rebound and be celebrating a good end of the month. If you have not smashed that subscribe button, I don't know what you're doing. Why? Because our best sport, my favorite sport, the best sport to handicap, college basketball, is right around the corner. And if you're not subscribed to this channel during that time, I guarantee you're going to miss out on it. But I do appreciate all the new subscribers that we do have in the channel. We're almost at 900. Let's hit 900 subscribers by the end of the week. How does that sound? Let's get this video out to a few more people. Let's get up to 900 subscribers, and let's dive into these winners for today. For my first best bet of the day, we're going to go to a gentleman that's a little bit popular here, but I'm not opposed to it. Why? Because it is a guy that I'm expecting a big game from today, and that is Mr. Jordan Poole, and we're going to go over 23.5 points, minus 125 odds on FanDuel. So you might be asking yourself, Noble, why are you taking Jordan Poole right now? I mean, isn't this guy, one of those streaky shooters? Isn't he one of those players that are boom or bust? And right now, after just fully fading yesterday, are you sure you want to take this risk? Well, if you looked at the numbers from what Jordan Poole has been doing thus far to start off the season, it has not been pretty bad. He's averaging 22 points per game, which is not bad at all, but it's his efficiency of what he's doing while he's averaging those points. He's averaging about 5.3 3-pointers made per game while shooting over 60% from deep. We literally saw on Monday when he faced this Hawks team, he attempted 8 3-pointers and he hit 6 of them. So yes, a little bit of regression is due, but he's playing an Atlanta Hawks team where you're not expecting a whole lot of defense from them. Yes, they do have Dyson Daniels. I think he's a very promising young player there in Atlanta, but overall, this is a team that's looking to outscore you more than they're trying to keep you from scoring. So Jordan Poole, I think this is a great opportunity for him. He just played them on Monday. Like I mentioned, 26 points on 9 of 17 shooting on that one. Every single game this season, he's been able to find his touch from deep. 5 3-pointers, 6 3-pointers, 4 3-pointers, and 6 3-pointers. His line for 3-pointers at 3.5 for this game. I'm not opposed to you taking that if you just want to stay up the points angle, but when you look at his points, 26 points, 14 points in 24 minutes. That was a blowout against the Cavs. 26 points against the Celtics, 24 points against the Wolves. So he's gone over this number in every single one of the games. I would play 24.5 as well. Don't overthink it. Atlanta, we're not buying the Kool-Aid just yet. I expect a high-scoring affair here, and the Wizards are at home in this one. So give me over 23.5 points as our first pick of the day. Our second best bet of the day, we're going to go to another guy who's the number one player on his team, especially with the injuries that they're facing, and they're going to need him to step up, and that's Mr. RJ Barrett today. And we're going to go over 27.5 points in rebounds, minus 125 odds on FanDuel. Now, I know there's not going to be a lot of times that you watch this channel and we're going to take Toronto Raptors players. I'm going to be honest with you. Why? Because I'm not expecting a whole lot of things from the Raptors this year. They're probably in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes trying to, I'm not saying they're tanking, but they're probably, maybe midway through the season realize it's probably best that if we lose rather than if we win. But RJ Barrett is a player that I think could take a lot of strides this season, given the fact that he doesn't have any other superstars that he has to deal with like he had to in New York. And that allows him to really step into his zone and really find his place, his role here in the NBA. But when you look at the situational matchup tonight against the Charlotte Hornets, which is a very winnable team for a bad team like the Raptors, they have no Scottie Barnes playing. Isaiah Quickly is doubtful, and there's still no Bruce Brown. So what does that mean? The scoring options for the Raptors right now are limited to really just RJ Barrett and Grady Dick. So for me, seeing the fact that Barrett is going to be on the floor, he's going to have to grab rebounds and score points. I love this combo square. He took 21 shots on Monday, which was his first game of the season in only 29 minutes, but he was still able to get 20 points and 5 rebounds. So that's not too shabby. When you look at the numbers and when he's attempted more than 20 field goal attempts in a game. He's gone over this points and rebounds number in 8 of the last 10 and over 80% in the last 30 games that he's been able to do this in. And then when you look at also the success that he's had last year against the same Charlotte Hornet teams while he was actually on the Raptors, so this happened after the trade, he had 31 and he had 29, again, going over this number. So there's a few different things and different angles as to why I really like this. The biggest thing will be conditioning, will be can he play enough minutes to be on the floor, considering that Monday was his first game of the season. If this was a back-to-back, I'd be a little bit more worried. But for me, I do like the fact that he had a day of rest in between there. Again, the injuries that the Raptors are dealing with. And then also keep in mind that Charlotte is just not really known for their defense. So right now, they're rated near the bottom in terms of defensive field goal percentage. As a result, let's go RJ Barrett here over 27.5 points and rebounds. For our third and final best bet of the night, we're going to go to the superstar of the night. And you guys know what it is. That's Mr. Jason Tatum. And yes, I know the Boston Celtics are going to have a really good matchup against the Indiana Pacers. And everyone's expecting to see this Eastern Conference Finals rematch and what's going to happen. But the Pacers, they're not looking like a very similar team as what we saw from last year. But one thing that we do know about the Pacers is what? It's going to be a lot of offense. There's going to be a lot of scoring, a lot of running, gunning, going up and down the court, which leads to very high totals. I think in this game we have a total of about 235, which is very high. I'm not saying I'm taking the over. I'm not saying we're taking the under because we haven't taken any NBA totals this year just yet. But a lot of shots means what? Rebounds. And with rebounds, with the Celtics, you know what that means. Mr. Jason Tatum, over 8.5 rebounds. That's minus 122 odds on FanDuel. 9.5 is playable, but I would take the 8.5. This is a very simple analysis, very simple breakdown. Celtics shoot a lot of shots. I like to get in transition. They shoot a lot of threes. That gives you a lot more possessions. That also gets you very long rebounds. But the Celtics also have no true center right now. Yes, they have Al Horford, who's still playing very good basketball at this late stage in his career. But overall, he's not really playing, one, that many minutes. But two, he's not doing too much from a rebounding perspective. I mean, we saw that against the Milwaukee Bucks when he only finished with 5 rebounds on 27 minutes. Jason Tatum was the number one rebounder in that game with 8 rebounds. So now you're facing an Indiana Pacers team that looks to run and gun themselves. Miles Turner is questionable for this game as well, but I don't even think that matters as much. Why? Because he's probably going to drag Horford away from the rim anyway, which means that Tatum is going to be relied on very heavily to grab rebounds, but also be in situational switch spots on Siakam, a guy who's a little bit willing to drive it a little bit more, bang down low in the paint, have to box him out as well. So this is an angle that I've liked very consistently. If you've been a part of the channel for a year, 2 years since we've been doing this show, then you know how much I love Jason Tatum, especially with him on the glass. But also if you look at some of his numbers last season, this does not include the playoffs against the Pacers, 7 rebounds, 13 rebounds, 12 rebounds, 12 rebounds. That was just last season. So he went over this in the regular season in 3 of the 4 games. So for me, I'm expecting something very similar today. High scoring affair. Pacers were really needing a big win at home and no better team to do that against with the Celtics. So I think this one might be a little bit more low scoring than we think. And Tatum should be right there in the mix grabbing those boards. So let's lock that in as our third and final pick of the day. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. Real quickly, 3 bets that we're giving you guys on this Wednesday card. Give me Jason Tatum over 8.5 rebounds. Give me Jordan Poole over 23.5 points. And then give me RJ Barrett with a combo square over 27.5 points and rebounds. For more best bets, picks, and plays that we're dropping throughout the day, click the link in the description, join the free Discord group, and I've got you guys. All right, my friends, let's get to that cheddar, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Later, gang.